Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
I have the biggest banker joining us. That's State Bank of India Chairman Rajnish Kumar. Remember, on Sunday, Rajnish Kumar put out a statement saying that banks are willing to lend to NBFCs and they don't see a problem. We have the man himself. Good morning, Mr. Kumar. Thank you very much. I know it's extremely early to ask you to come on our camera, but the markets are in a very tense situation. Now, if the debt market is unable or unwilling initially to refinance NBFCs, will banks be able to give them a line of credit?
No, the lines are available. This is a regular process. The way it works is that banks will have sectoral exposure limits. And for State Bank of India, I can confirm to you that the headroom is available as per our sectoral exposure limits. Then we have individual exposure limits, which are as per the regulatory guidelines and bank's own risk framework. So headroom is available. We are holding, again I'm talking about the State Bank of India, a very, very diversified portfolio without any concentration risk. And we keep on watching the developments, but as of now, the NBFCs with which bank has relationship, and if there is any requirement or if they approach, then whatever we do in the normal course of our credit due diligence, and based on that, there is no problem. In fact, in yesterday's release, I have also mentioned about SBI's willingness to partner with NBFCs for co-lending model. This we have been planning for about a year now. And the concerns on NBFC because of IL&FS, I think there is a extreme reaction which is totally unwarranted.
Yeah.
Because NBFC, they also operate in different segments. And just let me complete a little bit,
sure.
And then I will take your next question. And whether it is housing finance or SME, and in terms of the economy on the ground, in the last 4 years, the situation has not worsened in any manner whatsoever. Whatever was the situation maybe in last 3-4 years, there is a trend in recovery rather than going down. The prices, they have not gone up in last 4 years. So if that is the situation on the ground, then there has to be no reason to worry on the NBFC front. This is my reading of the situation, and this is what I am telling you on the basis of our exposures on NBFCs. Yeah,
that is what I was trying to ask you, Mr. Kumar. You have headroom, but 11 public sector banks are under PCA, prompt corrective action list. How much space will be there in the banking space, in the banking sector itself, when you take away such a large chunk? As well, there is a deep risk aversion.
No, this risk aversion, what we talk about, or PCA, it is not today's story. It is, they have been in PCA for last 1 year. But the NBFCs, or for that matter, all the companies which borrow in the market, they have been able to borrow. So it is not that the PCA or the risk aversion is today's phenomenon. So particularly I'm talking to the specific situation that there is nothing new which has happened in one day. Sure. And on any front or from whatever angle I look at it, the risk has not gone up in last 1 year as far as NBFCs are concerned.
So the point is the debt market gave them cheaper money.
That is where I am coming to.
I get your point. Debt market gave them cheaper money, but bank money will come at a higher price. As well, you also are competing in the same place, housing finance. So to that extent, is this as good a source for them as commercial paper or debt markets?
The situation in the last couple of months has been that loans and bond markets, more or less the pricing has become at par. And there have been upward movement in the interest rates. banks have also increased their MCLR. State Bank, we have increased our MCLR by 45 basis points since January. And the cost for the borrowers have also gone up correspondingly, because all our loans are linked to MCLR. Today, the pricing of the loans and the bonds, they are more or less identical. At times, loan is turning out to be cheaper than bonds. And maybe 3 months ago or 6 months ago, situation was different, where raising money through bonds and money market instruments was cheaper. But this is not the situation today.
Okay.
The cost in general has gone up because there has been an upward movement in the interest rate, but that cost has been passed on to the borrowers.
Okay. Mr. Kumar, good morning. This is Sonia here. I just wanted to ask you about, the recent statement that the RBI and SEBI made over the weekend, where they've said that they're closely monitoring the financial markets and they're ready to take actions as and when required. What do you think is the need of the hour? What could the logical solutions be in order to tackle the liquidity issues in the debt market?
As far as liquidity is concerned, again, let me tell you that SBI, we are sitting on a fairly good liquidity. Our liquidity coverage ratio is 140%. For your information, from 1st January, the requirement is 100%. The CD ratio of State Bank of India as of now is 66.5%. When there is a tax payment around the middle of the month, always for a few days, there is a tight liquidity, and as the tax paid, it comes back to the banking system, the liquidity position eases. So from what my treasury also has told me, that on liquidity, they don't have any concern as of now, and State Bank is sitting on a 400,000 crore repayable unencumbered securities.
Okay.
So this is our assessment of the liquidity situation.
Okay. So today, Business Standard is carrying a story that Orix of Japan is willing to pick majority stake in IL&FS. Have you heard from them? Have you shareholders already spoken to each other? And on the 28th, when RBI meets you, is there some solution already at hand in terms of money that all of you will bring?
The solution will have to be prepared, and I am sure it is being prepared by the management of IL&FS group of companies. And as a shareholder, by the way, we hold 6% shareholding in State Bank, in IL&FS.
Yeah.
And as shareholders, whatever is required to be done, that will be definitely decided by the board of State Bank of India. Once the resolution plan and the requirement, what is expected and needed from shareholders, that is clearly spelled out, then we will discuss and take a decision.
Are you aware of Orix itself making the offer?
Not yet.
Okay, you can't confirm it.
Okay.
No, and again, IL&FS again being an individual account, let us just talk about the sector. That will be much better.
No, but the reason we ask, Mr. Kumar, is because, SBI has a board seat on IL&FS. You have 6% stake, as you mentioned. I'm sure there have been some discussions on how to raise money, because that is the immediate need of the hour. There are talks of the rights issue as well, but that's just about 4,500 crores, and there is a bigger gap that needs to be filled. If not Orix, what else would, what are the other funding options in the very near term?
That's what I'm saying, that we must wait for a week or so when the board meeting of IL&FS is held on 29, and let a resolution plan and the funding plan be presented. So will be discussed in the board of IL&FS, and whatever are the requirements as SBI being 6% shareholder, what is the ask, let it come to the table, and it will be discussed in the board of State Bank of India. But whatever support or whatever obligation as a shareholder State Bank has, so we will act along with all others in the matter.
Okay, well, I just want a final, comment from you. Will it be some haircut for banks? Will it be large? Will it be small? Not just banks, of course, across the spectrum, commercial paper holders, ICD holders. Will it be just a 10% haircut? Will it be 20%? Or will it be no haircut?
So at this stage, very difficult, because unless we know the correct position, which we will know on 29th, only then what is the resolution plan, only then it will be determined. But one thing I can say as an outsider or as SBI, that IL&FS over a period of time, they build a good company in infrastructure space. Some of their underlying assets are very good. The payments are all in time to the banks who have lent at the SPV level. And now what needs to be determined is that how much value and the equity is available in those assets. Okay. There are quite a few assets where the equity will be available. Okay. That has all to be aggregated. Okay. But there has to be a solution. But in my view, given the size of the overall balance sheet of the IL&FS group as a whole, and considering that a large chunk of exposure is on the projects under SPV arrangement, where there are no concerns as of now, the solution would be a good solution can be worked out, and it can be worked out fast. That is my reading of the situation as of now.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kumar. I'm sure what you have said is going to help the debt markets and the equity markets get some nerve, which they lost rather drastically last week. Thank you very much for giving us your time this morning.